You see the Bank Nifty future that's extremely oversold. So I think the first hour could see a decent amount of short covering. This is what we were referring to, that today's first trade would be to see if yesterday's low is defended or not. And as soon as that was defended, you've seen this move. And I think there could be some more short covering, though the market could give you two-sided moves. But at least for starters, I think that trade would have played out. So that's something perhaps you want to keep an eye on. And also a couple of other stocks like Tata Chemicals also looking quite interesting. Ashwani, your thoughts on market opening? In fact, as we speak now, the Bank Nifty is now up 0.5%.
Well, we did buy the Bank Nifty, and my sense is just going below yesterday's low. Kind of that level has been rejected, and the market is in consolidation. It is not a bear market, so selling after big down day like yesterday is not on. And as people figure out that this is not going down, my sense is that Bank Nifty could have a fairly strong upside session.
Sure. Your thoughts? Any interesting trade?
That's for me?
Yes, Mitesh.
So I think, as I said, this is not a market which is breaking down, but more of a market which will possibly tire down and end into consolidation. I think we are slowly cutting down our long position, but as we get closer to 12,900, 950 zones, I think I'll be aggressive in selling off and taking profits, and on the balance position, trail the stop loss. So for the time being, just holding on to long position and slowly exiting them.
Okay, I know this is a question which I'm persisting too much. Hatson's Agro, do either of you track it? I mean, it's rising with volume suddenly. Mitesh, you go first.
But I haven't looked at it for quite some time.
Ashwini, have you?
I can give you the reason. PLI on food processing. Take all of these food processing stocks and they will go wild. So have a PLI portfolio for the next 3 or 4 months.
Okay, you know what's going wild right now is the market, the Bank Nifty. It's the perfect setup. Yesterday's low respected. I think you were talking about it yesterday as well in closing bell, that perhaps the late sell-off was a lot of it because of expiry factors. And at least you would see that part, the last 300, 400 points being covered. And today the Bank Nifty did try to break the lows. It did not. And now you've seen a sharp bit of short covering.
One word of caution, Anuj. Look at the flash. After 48 days of falling, active cases have risen. I mean, it's not something to be, it's not a scaremongering, but keep that on your radar. We already had, besides Delhi, Ahmedabad reporting a rise in cases yesterday, and the total now is beginning to impact the national total.
Yes.
It's risen after 48 days of falling. So, I mean, just keep that on your radar.
No, obviously you have to. And you know what, I tell you something, it's not that is the market's now going one way up. There would be two-sided moves today. The first trade has played out, which is that yesterday's low is respected and the market moves on. I think there's always a risk of at higher level, some selling coming back, but at least that first part has played out. But let's thank Ashwani and Mitesh on that note and invite Tushar Pradhan, CIO at HSBC Global Asset Management, who's now joining us. Tushar, good morning. Thanks for joining us. The clear momentum right now is in the broader market. A lot of stock-specific moves. You think that's the way to approach this market from here on? Perhaps look at broader market instead of the indices.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Anuj, because of the fact that even the first phase of where the market has gone up, I think it's gone up simply for the fact that a very large weight in a narrow index has gone up, and that's taken the market up. And we always used to wonder that the broader market was not really participating. So as we see the broader market participation right now, I think it is definitely going to be stock specific. It is going to be companies which are being really ignored over this period of time. And suddenly people realize after these earnings keep coming that, look, these valuations seems completely out of whack. And I think that is the move which we have to really look at. So it's really bottom up rather than even, I would call it not a broad market move, but it really stock specific moves.
Yeah, of course, it has to be. Good morning, Tushar. Good to have you with us. But, I mean, if you have to advise our viewers, how do they go about, taking advantage? We have not seen a mid and small cap rally since 2017. That was a monster rally, 40% mid cap rally and 60% of the small cap index. But now, of course, people will play it with caution. Some ideas, where would you look for value?
See, I would look at it in a different way because 2017, as you mentioned, was a very significant and broad-based rally. Typically, such rallies in mid and small caps especially happen after the economy has already started to really chug along in a momentum, where the spread now starts to go into smaller companies and the entire economy starts to move. Now, to expect that something like this is likely to happen very soon is a little premature. I would think that there will be first and few starts of companies which will participate in the broad rally. We will see economic data also starting to turn around, especially because of the base effect in fact. And as we see the broader base and when we get confident, like, look, this is really where the broad economy now is participating, the whole economy is turning around, is when I would think that investors should feel confident that there is a broad-based economic turnaround. But for now, I think it continues to remain a two-tier market. Companies which have either adapted well, companies which are already in leadership positions will continue to do well. In contrast to companies which will struggle during this period for whatever reason the pandemic has brought us to. So as a result, I don't think we can call a broad market rally in small and mid-cap right away. They generally come in the second and the third phase of a bull market in any case. So that is, I would believe, a little far away. But coming back to the first question, yes, there will be stock-specific companies which are in this space, which is small and mid-cap. Again, I will go back to saying that small and mid-cap doesn't really classify anything. It is just the market capitalization or the size of that company for now. But whether they are leaders, whether they are really something that investors should invest in because of the individual and the fundamental reason for that, I think that's the phase that we are in.
Okay, by the way, the mid caps are really zooming right now. Just take a look at that. And it's the metal space particularly which is doing very well. Tata Steel has been on fire ever since its numbers, up another 3% this morning. You have Vodafone Idea that's up almost 3.5%, and real estate stocks also doing really well. So Oberoi Realty up about 2.5%. Tushar, this whole comeback trade, whether it's real estate, aviation, two-wheelers, any of these spaces where you see more traction, not just from a short-term perspective, but more from a longer-term investor standpoint?
Yeah, I think the two sectors that you mentioned initially, aviation and real estate, really no connection to each other. And I'll take them separately because each of them have a separate case because why they're doing what they're doing. Aviation clearly because they were so beaten down. So it is like a very, very sharp up move because of the really given up kind of environment on aviation that we have talked about. And we now hear that aviation is going to pick up because I believe that it's probably the safer way to travel in the pandemic because of the filtering systems that these planes have and the really extreme caution that people are taking while traveling. So I think that's going to be a much more secure space from here on, though I'm not saying global aviation, I'm saying specific aviation companies which will have targeted fairly significant demand picking up. Real estate, for example, is picked up for a different reason. If you know, inflation has picked up to about 7% and above in India. Interest rates are at negative real yields for quite some time now. And this is something which we are unused to because some time back we were in positive territory. Now, typically when negative real yields start to happen in any economy, the shift to real assets starts to happen. So I think a lot of individual investors are thinking that, look, the equity markets appear to be expensive. Let me put some money to work on real estate because I'm getting a pretty significant opportunity to get in. And typically, given Indian mentality about real assets in any case, I think that attraction is starting to come back. This will also be seen in gold, for example. As you can see, gold also has a significant demand. Again, for the same reason that your real yields at the financial markets are again suffering. So again, just to kind of separate the two, the aviation has a different story altogether, and the real estate pickup has something else too.
The markets again turning volatile, especially on the bank nifty. We once again went into the red. So that's the two-sided movement that the market could show today. Especially in
difficult to make money. I mean,
sorry,
difficult to make money if it whipsaws in 15 minutes. It's red, green, red.
Difficult to make money if if you're not nimble enough, but a lot of money if you get both sides.
Correct.
So that's I guess the way to look at things. I mean, now it's down 50 points on the bank nifty. Just look at that volatility. It went into the green, had that powerful short covering bout, and then at higher level there's a seller which is back. and now you're seeing the Bank Nifty down 50 points. ICICI Bank is actually dragging the market quite a bit, down about 1%. But Tushar, the other space which has had a really strong run is the auto ancillary, autos. You think this PLI scheme could well be the turning point and could well be the next theme to watch out for?
Yeah, I think autos have a different reason again. People were worried that the pandemic would lead to a very significant change in an environment where people may not want to travel. But actually, it has turned the whole thing completely on its face, because public travel, which is commuter travel, is really going to take a long time to come back, which means that private travel, and in whatever way we can describe India's infrastructure, I think anyway public transportation is a little constrained. This kind of activity really is a reaction to the pandemic situation. Like, people need to move, and businesses, if they have to prosper and do well, they will need to move around. So I think that's been one. The other thing is the pent-up demand. So for 6 months, you've not been able to go anywhere. Probably discretionary demand, the savings going up. It might just be the right time to just invest in something that you always wanted. Interest rates are at an all-time low. Again, financing of auto is going to be at an all-time high, which is a very attractive yield to come into. So I think all of this is making that entire supply chain very attractive. And as we know, with the SOPs in place, it is possible for supply to come back pretty strongly in terms of having the dealer network up again. And really, there's no constraint on the supply side. So I think the second order demand from here on is something that we have to look at, that what other discretionary will start to pick up in the coming months. And I think that's a broad range of industries that one can look at. But
It's discretionary. Will you have a policy play? Just before you came, one of our technical advisors was saying you should build a PLI portfolio. Would you do that?
Well, I would not take that extreme step, but because I will take you back to a little bit in your own conversation in the studio that you are having, is that because of the increase in cases in India, and especially the very, very large increase in Europe and the US, this volatility is going to remain in place. So for example, if we talk about a trend saying that, look, people are now getting confident, willing to spend, use up the savings, the minute you again see that there is a rise in such cases leading to lockdowns and again a very severe drop in production, then you are not going to have a unilateral move here. So I would think that a very, very diversified approach, not making sure that you're concentrated in any one bet, as you were discussing yourself, that the rotation among sectors is so vicious that it starts to go from finance to real estate to aviation so quickly that it's very difficult to put a trend to it. So the worst thing you can do is to get out of it completely. The best thing you can do is to be a little bit exposed to everything. So a diversified approach, especially in equity at this time, will be tremendous.
Okay, well, Tushar, we will leave it at that. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. That's the word coming in on the market, which, by the way, is getting very volatile right now. So don't lose sight of that. The Nifty is